All right, let's talk about that moment. You know, the one when everything gets quiet, the day is done, and it's just you and your thoughts. What happens in that space? Have you ever noticed this? As soon as your head hits the pillow, it's like a totally different part of your brain just switches on, right? Suddenly, little worries can feel like huge mountains. But on the flip side, sometimes your most brilliant ideas show up too. So let's get into it. Why does our mind seem to operate on a completely different wavelength after dark? Okay, so our first stop on this little journey is what we'll call the mind at night. This is that space, that feeling, where all the usual rules of the day just kind of melt away, and what's really going on inside suddenly takes center stage. I mean, think about your day. It's go, go, go. It's clocks, alarms, meetings, deadlines. It's a schedule, right? But at night, all of that just vanishes. Time gets all weird and stretchy. And in that quiet, that lack of structure, all the stuff we've pushed down, all those memories, they suddenly find the door wide open. And this is so important to get. The night isn't creating these feelings out of thin air. No, it's just turning off the deafening noise of our daily lives. You know, all those unfinished thoughts, those unspoken feelings we have to shove aside just to get through the day, well, they're still there. And now, finally, they have the microphone. So, what is the core thing happening here? It really all boils down to that structure just dissolving. Let's dig into the huge difference between a mind that's just occupied versus a mind that's actually aware. Yeah, check this out. During the day, our mind is all about the external stuff, right? It's occupied with tasks, noise, and let's be honest, performance. But the night mind? It turns completely inward. It's not about being occupied, it's about being aware. It swaps out tasks and noise for memories and honesty. And it trades that daily performance for vulnerability. It's the difference between just being busy and actually simply being. This right here just nails it. During the day, we're all kind of on a stage, aren't we? We're performing for our boss, our friends, our family, for everyone. But at night, the theater closes, the audience goes home. And with no one left to impress, no role left to play, our mind finally gets a hall pass to be totally, brutally honest with itself.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. The audience is gone, right? So why is it that sometimes, even when you are completely and totally alone, you still feel like you're being watched? This is where we meet a major character in our inner story, the watcher within.
So, who or what is this inner observer? Think of it like this. It's the part of you that isn't just thinking the thought, it's the part that notices you're thinking the thought. It's the silent witness to your own life playing out. And here's the thing, we all have one. The real question is, what role is it playing? So where did this thing even come from? We're definitely not born with it, nope. It gets built piece by piece when we're kids. It comes from being seen by our parents, from being corrected by a teacher, from being measured against our siblings or classmates. Basically, we learn to see ourselves through everyone else's eyes first. And over time, after years of this, something really profound happens. That outside gaze, it moves inside. The eyes of the world literally become our own eyes looking at ourselves. That's why you can feel that pressure, that sensation of being watched, when there's no one else in the room. The watcher isn't out there anymore. It's in here. And this brings us to probably the most important idea in this whole thing. See, this inner observer, it can wear two totally different hats. It can be a calm, neutral witness, or it can be a really harsh inner critic. And telling the difference between the two, well, that changes everything. Let's make this super clear. Observation, the witness, just notices. It says, I'm feeling anxious right now, and it just lets that be. But judgment, the inner critic, that sounds totally different. It screams, why are you anxious? You have no reason to be. Stop it. Get it together. You see the difference? One creates space for you to breathe. The other builds a cage. And when that observer gets stuck in judge mode, awareness isn't a gentle flashlight anymore. It's a harsh, high-pressure interrogation spotlight. And that's when being alone stops feeling peaceful and starts feeling really, really crowded, because you can't get away from your own biggest critic. Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we get back to that feeling of real, actual peace? Well, the goal isn't to kill the observer. You can't. The goal is to help it chill out, to help it relax back into just being a witness. It's all about learning to soften that internal gaze and just exist. You know, the healing really happens in that moment. You just let go. When the judge softens its grip and becomes a witness again. When it stops demanding that you be different and just allows you to be what you are in that moment, no verdict attached. That's where you find the quiet. And that brings us right back to where we started, back to the night, the darkness, the quiet. It's the perfect setting for this to happen. There are no outside pressures. There's no audience. The night isn't asking you to be anything more or less than exactly what you are. So maybe we can look at that original feeling a little differently now. If you feel weird or different at night, if you feel more raw, more honest, maybe a little more vulnerable, it doesn't mean something's broken. What if it just means you're finally getting a little closer to the real you, the unfiltered you, without all the noise of the day getting in the way? So I'll leave you with this one question to take with you into the quiet. If you could just turn down the volume on that inner judge, just for a little while, and let the witness part of you just look around with no opinion, no critique, what do you think it would see?